All right then, all right then, all right then, all right then.
Whenever you're ready.
Welcome to Decisions.
Why?
What? I don't know. Listen.
Racist!
What accent was that even?
You listen. The thing is, as long as you just roll your R's, it's an accent.
I feel like you
That's
wanted
just
to
what
make
it
that
is.
as Italian French.
Kind of, yeah. It sounded European.
It was very
See, maybe I
Mario.
was in Italy.
Yeah. there you go.
I don't know. I am not the best with accents. Okay.
We need to get you global. We need to
No,
get
what's crazy is I'm literally in Atlanta and I'm like, ooh, y'all have accents down here. Ooh, I don't know what y'all are saying.
you 6 months out.
Bro, don't do that.
We're going to be on this podcast like we will be adding subtitles and closed caption.
I ain't gonna hold you. It might happen. It might happen. I am noticing a little twang. But no, y'all, welcome to another episode, y'all. I'm Mandii
I'm
Weezy.
Weezy, and I know you're so happy that it's just us.
I mean, yeah. But we
And
also
Adam.
had some really good guests coming on. We've actually started decisions out with a lot of our friends. Like we just was like, hey, yo, pull up. A lot of people we've worked with, a lot of people that we know personally. So I'm with it.
So
Sorry, Alex. By the way, if y'all are watching on YouTube, first 7 minutes, bleep out our curse words. Get over it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're here. You will hear soon. Oh my God. Speaking of which, there was recently a guest that had Tourette's come into the studio, and Tiana hit me and was like, this is something I've never seen.
They never watched Deuce Bigelow.
Maybe in person. I've
That's a
never.
great movie.
So
Such a good movie.
she basically said the tics were. Hold on. Let me type in tics in my phone and tell you what these tics were. Sorry again for the bleeps.
Mhm.
Tippy tap that rotisserie. My flabber has been gasted.
Love that one.
BBC, that's a big black.
Whoa.
And then Shiana wrote, and last but not least. And
Wait, these were ticks that just were bursted out.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
cool.
those are really cool ticks.
Yeah.
She said she was on a podcast. I don't know the name of it, but the person that hosts it is Amanda Hirsch, Tourette syndrome, and they never gave Tiana a heads up. So she said she was adjusting the camera, and the girl was like sticking up a middle finger. She said, I was like, I know she ain't talking to me. So I'm really curious, though, like what that episode sounds like and how that conversation goes, because keep in mind with Tourette's, these are just blurted out.
Tics,
So
yeah.
it can be distracting for the person you're trying to speak to. And also,
If a man is getting it right from behind, I'm trying now to make it nice, and he
Oh my
screams
God,
out
bro.
rotisserie, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know, like, if I could have someone who is yelling out a rotisserie.
Jason Momoa got Tourette's. Hypothetical.
You letting it rock?
I'm gonna turn the TV up.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
take it.
you're right.
I'm be like, yeah, you
I'm
want
gonna-
that chicken?
No,
Okay,
no,
what
no,
if
no.
it's-
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna have the music playing loud. Okay, if Jason Momoa has Tourette's and just bursts out any of those weird things, okay, he can. He
You
can
heard
have it.
that,
I'm
Jason?
sorry.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
know if anybody else does this, but sometimes when we about to get, I'd be like, you know, it's like, if I was a worm, would you love me?
Oh my
So we be
fucking
doing like, okay, what if I couldn't do this? What if I couldn't do that? What if I hunchback? Like, would you still be with me? And he's like, since we already locked in, yeah, but like,
If you were a worm,
I just
why are you asking your man if he would be into?
I just want to know if I was a
That's not
turtle, if he was
the
still
But that
alive.
is a
Be
worm.
doing dumb. That's what you do when you in love. Girl, I know the going on my head is up.
If I was a worm, would you be with me?
Mandii,
Yes.
let me tell you something about
What?
being in love. You forgot how you was acting.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've never asked that man if I was a worm, would you still love me?
I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but
Okay,
it's just
so-
like dumb.
What was his reaction?
Wait, I didn't ask him that, but I'm thinking like something like super silly. Like I just be looking with the googly eyes, like, okay.
I
And
think
it'd be right after if
course.
I just do a thing. Okay, so I'll ask about an extra toe or an extra finger, or like, cause my mama white. I be like, what if I didn't have lips? And my mouth was like this.
what if I
So,
was
like,
full?
I suck my mouth in his and be like, would you kiss me if my mouth was like this? And I do that.
And see that white. That's
That
why
is-
sometimes he look at me and be like, I can't believe I'm gonna.
That isn't white. I have full lips, thankfully. But when I be at looking at my mama sometimes, I be like, damn, mama, you ain't got no lips.
And we're in the era where you could do a little. Go ahead, let's get it for her birthday.
No, I'm not giving my mom no filler.
In the lip.
I'm not giving her filler. No, I think I would help my mom though. Like she had the gastric sleeve, so I'm like, if insurance doesn't cover your, and it's not a mommy makeover, but she's older, so she has the loose skin. I'm like, girl, we gonna snip and tuck
Girl,
that.
that's way worse than a lip.
We gonna snip and
That
tuck
is-
that.
that is
All
That
way
is
worse than a
way worse than a lip.
No, it's not.
At least that's just a filler.
No,
I
it's not.
know.
No, filler be looking awful and can migrate up under your nose.
There's no anesthesia.
Cutting
Not
off
when your lips
cutting
are
off
small.
extra skin, which is a health concern, is not worse than filler.
Because you know why I say that?
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
but you're still putting down under, right? They put you down. For
yeah,
not-
that's vanity.
Oh, no, so
Mommy
to me
makeover
it's-
is vanity.
Yeah, to me it's not like I'm not saying like not to get lips, like, but to me I'd rather help my mom cut some extra skin off than lip filler.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I think there's a
sorry,
point where, you know, when
I
you
get
see
that.
someone, you're like, ooh, that's too much. Imagine them before. That's what you got to know they built up to that. What was Kylie like at just 2 shots? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, she worked her way there.
Once
That's
you got
true.
to the point where you did.
And then she lied to y'all and said it's the lip kit. And y'all bought it. It was sold out. I'm not gonna lie. I was them.
I was gonna say y'all bought it.
Oh, I love the little lip kit.
You
Hey,
ever get
listen, y'all can talk about Kylie all y'all want with all the things. Baby, her little Kylie clothing line and the lip kit. I'm here. She has put out some good quality.
I'm gonna tell you, I love a little you know when you put on a little cooling gel and it be making you tingly, but then you be
Oh no, I'm not gonna hold you. The little lip gloss with the little plumper. Ladies, do not kiss a man or a man with the plumper on your lip.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is, we don't even do hors d'oeuvres anymore, but that's my tip to y'all. I done did it on accident and it was like, there's a little tingly happening. I said, oh, it's my plumper. The plumper transfers, y'all.
wait,
and it can,
how
But
fast?
how fresh?
bro,
is the
almost
plumper?
immediately. Like when I'm with someone, I constantly am putting on lip gloss. And then
Oh,
kiss, and then all of the things, y'all.
Wait, but how? Again, what's the time between the plumper and?
Tingles for a while. Like I have this one, I don't think it's Tarte. I forgot the brand. I'll bring it. That thing be tingling for about 15 minutes.
oh
on
my
my
God,
lip.
this is so random, but I just have to tell y'all about this. Last night at 11, I'm sorry, my ADD just hit me. Last night at 11:30 at night, okay? There's a knock on my door. Me and my nigga in the bed. I thought about it because the girl got big lips when I see her. So I get a knock on my door and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like nervous, like what? And I've left my key in the door before. So I was like, oh my God, please don't tell me that's, and it's happening in front of
I
him.
leave
That's
my key in
embarrassing.
the door too.
These 2 girls are giggling and we looking through the peephole. This hoe said, oh my God, sorry, we're just gonna leave a note on your door. You don't have to open the door. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's 2 girls, 1 white, 1 Indian girl. He opened the door and they're like, sorry, we just have a letter for you. And you can read it, you don't read it. Oh my God, sorry. They like were giggling. It's almost midnight. It's a Monday night. I'm fucking livid.
Oh, you
dog.
about to fight?
Oh, let me tell you, I was like, when she said we're your neighbors, I'm like, and what do you want? Like, he was trying to be nice. I was pissed. Girl, read this letter. You know we had to get up early. Hi, these are your neighbors, apartment 5 and apartment 6. Basically, we're all on this one floor and it's a larger floor. We're considering throwing a party. And we thought it would be fun if we all open up our apartments.
Weird.
Let
I mean,
us-
they're young, right? I'm assuming.
They're young. It's
Yeah.
downtown. Let us know what you think, or you can just totally ignore this if you want. Nigga, let me tell you something. When I tell you I almost went and
They
knocked
saw that
on,
shit on TikTok.
oh, I almost knocked on 5 and 6.
They did that on TikTok. They're like,
Oh,
that's
yeah?
like, it's a trend.
Wait, it's real? It's on TikTok?
No, there's a TikTok where everyone goes to everyone's different apartments, and in each apartment, there's either a theme or drinks, and you literally are partying
That's
through
cool.
everyone's apartments. I literally saw that on TikTok.
Hey, let me tell you something. This isn't a fucking
Weezy
college
said,
dorm.
I'm a millennial. I'm not here for it.
Nigga,
Yeah.
are you out of your white mind? Literally, and I'm going off. And I know he's annoyed too, but now he's trying to calm me down. I'm about to go over there. So I get my phone out because they left their phone numbers. And he's like, no, just chill. I'm like, yo, do you know how disrespectful it is to knock on someone's door almost at midnight on a fucking Monday? Like, you really got me fucked up. Number 2, what really got me tight? Bitch, you only trying to do this with me so that I'm not going to complain about how loud it is. And ever since that one hoe moved in, SantaCon, my building was flooded. What the fuck do you think this is, a goddamn frat house? Oh,
Yeah, they do.
people
Yeah.
literally will hear Nina at the door when they walk by and just start barking back. And I'll be opening a motherfucking door like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? Now, I know I live in a downtown Manhattan crazy area.
Literally by bars.
That
So people-
doesn't mean that I need to now take on this energy. First of all, I am a phony. I have a boyfriend now, bitch. Let me stop. I'm still a party girl. But I just really can't believe these neighbors wanted to do this with me. Like, are you crazy?
We're gonna just sound like millennials right now because
You are.
everyone's asking me about a housewarming, and I said, so that people know where I live. No.
Nah, I get that.
I don't want anyone coming over my house.
Y'all don't think this is that's crazy to knock on somebody's door?
But you
11:30 at
used
night?
to throw
Not really.
parties at your house.
I still do. It doesn't mean I want it with you.
But yeah, but
That's fair.
do you go to your neighbors and are you considerate about how loud it will be? Like,
oh
do
yeah,
you
I
even
leave
warn
a
them
bottle of wine.
before
Is
or
that
after?
you think so? That's just okay.
You know
right
what
there.
I mean,
that's her millennial
That-
ass.
like
Wait,
that's
sorry
okay.
that you didn't like the giggles
and
in the
now
letter.
we're fine with the party.
Do you see that? That is
okay,
crazy to me.
Let me just say this.
She's like, I do it the mature way.
I do
Yeah.
it for congestion. Let's start with that. If I have a game night in my house and the music and the shit ain't that crazy, I knock on the door. I'm not asking for permission. I say, hey, I'm gonna have some friends over on Friday. I just wanted to bring this by. Hope it's not too annoying.
Here's this barefoot. We're gonna be loud.
This is barefoot, little Chateau Diana. But I mean, no. And I started to think to myself, and I'm like, oh, it's perfect because it's decisions. What rules do you have as a neighbor? First of all, she said you can ignore this. I feel like the nice thing to do is write them and respectfully decline and be like, hey, but if you never need anything, here's my number. I really don't want to do that at all. I don't know why I have to be neighborly. I'm a renter. You're going to be out of here, and so am I.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Like I remember when I lived in Miami. I lived downtown Miami off Biscayne, and I'll never forget our neighbor from below us came up. Mind you, he I guess had a 9 to 5, but me and my roommate at the time were bartenders, and we went out a lot. We would get ready. We would wear heels. He came up and literally said, "Do I need to buy you guys slippers? I don't like hearing your heels when I'm having to get up for work or whatever." And I'm not going to lie, my initial response, and yes, I was 21 at the time, was if you don't want to hear people above you, buy the penthouse or get a house. To me, when you're in an
That's
apartment, like to me, you should be able to listen to your music loud. You should be able to wear heels in your home that you pay for. Like to me, if you're someone that is really going to be anal about the noise made by having neighbors, get a fucking house.
Can we put an asterisk though?
What's the asterisk?
At considerable hours?
Yeah, I'm going to say that I would be
If
considering
you
taking
blast
them
the
off.
music at 5 a.m.
No.
or 4 a.m.
Okay, no.
I'll
I'm
be
not
like,
gonna lie.
damn.
There's I believe hours.
Now,
Yeah.
if you're walking around at
But
any
if
time of the
I'm
hour,
walking around, bro, no. I understand music. I understand loud.
So I don't
things
have
like that.
anyone under me because of structurally how the building is. There's something underneath me, which is great, right? And I'm not even on a bottom floor. But there are people above me. Most recently, a guy that likes to do yoga or something. And
he work out.
It's some kind of workout, but I say yoga because I just
You
hear
hear
a
it?
thump sometimes. Then I hear 1 foot. It's not like dumbbells. So I let it go because it doesn't last long. And I feel like we live in New York. These apartments are small.
Yeah.
What am I like? Whatever. But then one day that motherfucker did it late night. And the next day when I saw him, I said, hey, couldn't sleep last night?
To me,
Was
noise
it
is not,
consistent though? Or
noise
like just
is-
one thump?
One time, no, he's like doing a full-on workout on the
Oh.
It's like a mat thing he's doing on the ground. So I'll make a comment just so you're aware. That's it. That's all I could do. I think they did make a comment so you're aware.
Yeah, I don't know. And it didn't change anything. Bitch, I pay rent. I'm wearing heels in my house. I also remember too, like noise complaints. Sorry, bro. Come on. Like, get earplugs, get it together. Like, people are living how they live. I will say the only thing that I have understood, I had another roommate when I lived in the Bronx, who was a smoker. Smoked all day, every day.
Oh.
And the apartment above us was Section 8. Well, if Section 8 comes and smells weed, you could lose your Section 8.
Again.
And so, because she didn't want to stop smoking in her home, she moved out. And so that's where, like, again, if you don't like something or if you don't like the complaints from your neighbors, bro, move out. But I don't think you should have to change your whole way of living in your home that you pay rent for to accommodate neighbors.
Wait. Hold on.
So she moved out because she's like, I'm going to smoke in my room. I'm going to smoke in my house. I pay rent. I wake up. I roll a blunt. I smoke. So she moved out and moved to a place that didn't mind her smoking. And I respected that.
I thought you were saying move out, have the neighbor. Okay.
No, she moved out. She said, no worries. I am going to smoke in my home. And she moved out.
Oh, yeah. I think that's really honorable.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me I got to go, bitch.
I mean, but again, when you're dealing with Section 8 or newborn babies, like my loft now, like my neighbor smoked cigars. The people before me had a baby and literally had said, hey, we can't. I mean, when you're sharing vents with people, like smoke, I understand.
I understand smoke too. My partner he owns properties, and one of them he recently like saw, and basically, I guess Huh?
It's on the walls, kind of a thing.
She opened the door and he's like, yo, I couldn't even see the floor. It was
Wow.
just filthy, hoarding kids. He was like, and not just regular, I have kids messy. And he's like, all of it, it's going to take over the walls.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, how do you know if someone has bad cleaning habits or even smoking or anything? A lot of people are investing nowadays. We get into that age where we want to get an investment property. What do? We just watch fucking 504 and smoking in a motherfucker's crib.
It's so crazy. That's what even I saw. It was either a tweet or maybe it was a TikTok, but it was saying that, ladies, you shouldn't even open your legs for a man until you see how he lives.
Oh,
A, to see if he clean or not, but also B, to make sure he don't live with his wife. You should
that's
definitely
hilarious.
You should go and be able to see the inside of his home, and you should know the color of his shower curtain.
Bro, and you know what's crazy?
You should know
You
it.
don't really have a right to enter a tenant's property, but also at the same time, you want to make sure your shit is being upheld. I'm like, so what do you
That's
do?
why renting is tough.
But
that's why a lot of home owners or people that get into investment properties don't want to rent to Section 8 because the possibility of their home being destroyed is higher than not, because they genuinely, if you're not paying in Section 8, you're paying very minimal. You don't seem to care about things that you don't pay for.
Question. So what
But on the other hand,
yeah.
he does have a Section 8 tenant. Was like, I get my rent.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I
I
grew up as a Section 8 tenant. Like my mom and us, we were on Section 8 growing up, and we took very good care of the house.
What do you wish that they had done instead?
slid it under the door, not a knock in the middle of the fucking night. I think that's
sliding under the door. Yeah,
11:30 on a Monday, bro. I understand the age of the world right now, but I just think there needs to be some decorum. And these kids, I really feel like they disrespect
not these
me.
kids. We is aging the hell.
Bitch,
they
you're
said,
a fucking
"Whoa,
kid.
decisions."
You think I'm about to open my door to? Are you insane?
Look,
and ruin my.
She's like, "Ooh, y'all done got old.
You want some soundproofing tea?
Decisions.
Hold on. Sound ordinance tea." Y'all, I opened a gym. I'm going to tell you all about it. It's called Trap House if you haven't seen it on my IG yet. It's in the Lower East Side. We have a neighbor.
Oh, boy.
That just came on the floor above.
Oh, boy.
And my partner was upstairs with them, introducing themselves. And he said, it was pretty loud yesterday. What was going on? You guys having a party? And she was like, no, we were doing our workout.
Normally with commercial though, don't you have to aren't you aware of who else is in the building before you join the building?
Well, that person said, she said, did you not know we're a gym? He said, I knew you were a Pilates studio.
Oh, didn't know that you were going to be playing rap.
Bitch, it is trap. And so she's like, well, what level of noise would be comfortable for you? He said, a pin drop.
Yeah, all right.
Girl, she came downstairs and said, well, we're getting kicked out. I said, no, the hell we ain't. I signed my lease first. Nobody else was in the building. They were very aware what this would be. I'm following the decibels of what's allowed. The apartments on the side, so it's New York, right? You have some commercial, then on the side.
Residential, yeah.
I turn it off at a certain time. I've soundproofed the windows. Sound is going to travel up. And if you think I'm not going to have a subwoofer when I want to hear Sexy Red on the Reformer, you got me fucked up. So now we just waiting, girl. He's a white gay man. And whereas gay men steal my heart, I have a feeling one day he's just going to be like, I've had it. I am terrified. Luckily, our schedule is 7, 8, 9:30. He comes in around 11. We do have a 12 class, but the rest is late night, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, all right, maybe you'll hear 1. But I think what already makes it worse, because when I thought about it,
yeah.
I was like, okay, if I knew there was a Pilates studio as well, I'd be like, oh.
You wouldn't.
You didn't see the name is Trap House? Oh,
I mean, he can't assume.
dog, I'm a little
What's
scared.
the business, if you don't mind me asking?
They're a designer showroom.
Oh.
Y'all shady!
Oh.
I know.
But she probably has elevator music playing.
Right.
And
I
then
woke
you
up
hear,
in a boo Gotti downstairs.
this,
just,
my Buddha hole
Yeah.
Brown about to be on.
fuck my baby
on
daddy.
loud.
You know what was
Fuck
the song?
My baby daddy.
Fuck my baby
But my
daddy.
baby dad. Oh, wait, no. The song the last time I saw him in a hallway and I felt so bad because it's a big bangs was Fiend.
Yeah.
Fiend. I'm like, hey, how are you? Fiend. I was like, oh, shit. I mean, it wasn't cursing, but it's just so loud.
No, you're just yelling fiend. It's soliciting drugs. Yeah, wow.
Oh, is it?
That's what a
Kind of,
fiend
yeah.
is, bro.
I know that's what a fiend is. I thought it was just like we're fiending for the party.
You're fiending for
For the party.
the party.
But anyway, it's super fun. Come, I made a code for Whore Hive. It's $10 off, and it's half Pilates inspired moves and half lifting, and it's been really, really dope. Dave and Eden got to come through.
Yep.
And
Eden, you did
Oh, wait, you do
Pilates.
Pilates now. You
I
gotta
didn't do it.
come.
You didn't do it?
I didn't do the Pilates. I
You
took
didn't do the
video
Pilates?
of the Pilates, so I felt like I was doing it.
I've never done Pilates though with
Wait.
machines. I do Pilates with
Oh.
my body, so
Oh.
I don't know about.
It looks good though.
I don't. Yeah,
fun.
the machines be scaring me. That's what I be seeing the athletes shake.
A lot
on.
of people are scared. We do we started an intro class because I realized a lot of girls is coming in like, I'm kind of nervous or I'm scared. And you don't want to be. The worst thing for me is when I go to a hard workout and everybody's better than me or making me feel like I'm not keeping up. So I understand that too.
like Pilates, bar yoga. Like I realize I'm intimidated by machines, so I've really enjoyed working out with just moving
that's
my muscles.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't like machines. I think even when I go into gyms, like I had a gym in my last building, and I was just like learning really the usage of them. I prefer like using just my body weight. So like
Yeah.
seeing my love over the years grow for bar class and yoga and hot yoga and Pilates. It's always been just a mat and
The
like
thing with Pilates too, so I can't call it Pilates and I can't call it Legree, but it is the closest to Legree. The fitness director is Legree certified, but there is like a monopoly on using the name. So the machines are literally that, but I can't say it because other studios own that. So I've had to say Pilates inspired. But basically, I just went from what changed my body the most. And everybody know, y'all have come with me to workouts and shit over the years. Like, there's a bunch that I love, and I'm like, this is what changed me the most. Lifting weights and the reformer. So the regular Pilates machine is kind of light. This one is heavier, so you feel it more. But it's really because I want niggas on it. Like, my goal was to have, like, a workout that men could do. I even made one spot in the gym called the boyfriend bench. And it's a bench that is only lifting and you don't have to do the machine.
okay.
Because I knew it was going to be niggas up in there. And it's a dude in there every time. Also, girls bringing their boyfriends. Girl, you got to hold on it down. They be bringing some fine ass niggas.
Not you looking at the girl's boyfriend.
Sorry.
Right.
Oh, no,
Girl, you are the owner. Can you be respectful to
I
their
am.
relationships? Damn.
Speaking of which, I have realized that the culture of WTF media and owning
boy.
this business is drastically different from starting a new one. And you know, everybody has a language. Mandii and I talk a certain way in the group chat with you. I talk a certain way in the group chat with Jeff and Alex and Clara, whoever. This new business, I have to really watch my mouth.
Kind of.
Literally, someone came in and I was like, damn, her ass looks so good. And they all looked at me like,
Yeah, you
so
can't.
no one else's ass look good? Like, what bitch, you can't talk like that.
No.
I was like, oh,
HR, guard,
yeah, I don't, there's no
Guard.
guard.
Yeah, it's already a sexual energy. It's sweaty in there, and it's like beautiful people. So you're just
You know
like,
what's crazy? I have the opposite thought. Like
about what?
going to the gym is
To the gym?
never sexual energy. Like I don't know. I guess that goes to like the
No,
people
for
that
me,
don't
I'm
want.
horny.
No, you're horny, but I get it. But
I don't think anyone else
the
is thinking
gym is
that.
does not bring about sexual energy.
What?
Really? The sweat, the heat,
That
That
is not-
surprised
the
me.
body
actually.
movement.
I understand a group fitness class because mainly being around a bunch of girls doing like
Well,
something.
we're also bi, so no. Like I'm in yoga and asses in the air. I eat pussy, lick ass. You would think it. I don't go to like when I'm in the gym.
you don't feel sexy either.
I'm hurting. I'm stretching.
I'm hurting.
No,
I'm-
you
I'm
put on a
working
good outfit,
out.
Mandii. Seriously,
No,
You
I
put on a
don't.
good workout outfit.
No, I don't.
Oh, I can't.
I go
relate.
with my little cut up.
That's
t-shirt.
why I go.
I go to sweat, but I don't go to look good. I go to like.
Oh, no, yeah, I
this
go-
is
I go
for
to
my
the gym
body.
ugly,
I go to
honestly.
feel good. I don't
Yeah.
go to like look good. I don't do my makeup.
Yeah,
I'll put on a
exactly.
baseball
No,
cap.
no. I'm not talking about girls that go to look good. I've never put on makeup for the gym. I'm talking about going to feel
I
good.
go to feel good, but I'm not going to feel good in my pussy. I'm going to feel good everywhere else.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bitch. I do feel like especially with lower body workouts, like it literally it builds testosterone for men. You just start doing squats and shit. Like it definitely gets the blood flowing. I felt sexy.
When you squat, does your dick get hard, Eden?
Not hard.
You said it
Not
builds
hard.
testosterone and,
promote-
and blood. Like
But there's blood flowing.
right. So is it flowing like when you squat, or even Dave when
I've
you
never
do
gotten-
anything
I've never
lower
gotten
body?
hard,
Is
but
your dick getting hard?
maybe like a half chode, but like
Not a half chobe. Okay. Can we get to hypotheticals now?
half choke is crazy.
Half chobe is crazy. Like,
You just asked me if my dick got hard during the
okay,
workout.
my bad. Sorry. Clearly there's no HR
Well, now
here.
I feel like I can't say anything. But I be getting horny. And I ain't gonna lie to you, on the machine, like there's this one move, like it's almost like a cat cow. It's in tabletop position when you're doing it.
I do like cat cow.
Oh, I really was like,
I be feeling it in my lower
y'all
back. I love a
see me?
cat cow.
I be tooting it up. Or if I do rows where one arm is on the bench and I'm just rowing the other, I'm finna toot my ass up.
Do you stare at yourself in the mirror?
Duh.
Yeah.
Hello, have you I'm sorry, egotistical. Anyway, hypothetical. Okay.
Yes.
If you could make one universal law in the realm of sex, what would it be?
Can you start with this?
Okay, so for me, the law I would make is like, if you fake an orgasm, you go to jail for 6 months. And the reason I say that is because the faking of the orgasm, which I have done before, has promoted so much lack of interest in what someone wants. Because you're already getting the instant gratification. So we're not learning what we're doing wrong. And even it's not that you're doing anything wrong, I think. It's you're not learning how to please someone else. So now we just, is it good? Yeah. Instead of saying, how can I get you off? What do you like? Do you like harder, more pressure? Like, we just don't ask.
I agree. I mean, a universal law for me would be, it doesn't count if you don't come. And I think it would limit the conversation.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
It doesn't count if I didn't come.
I've only fucked 5 niggas.
It didn't count if I didn't come. That would be the law I would create, because there's no way in hell, like, even if I have to sign a little waiver, like, yes, I came. So then you could acknowledge me as a body. You could tell people we had sex. However, if I did not come, it didn't happen.
Did you really blow my back out?
I don't recall. It didn't happen. That would be my universal law. So then,
what
as
if it's
men,
the same for you?
No,
it's like, have you fucked anybody? Let's say you fucked 50 women.
And if you didn't make any of them come,
you only fucked 2.
You're a virgin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This
wild.
is fucking insane.
No, I mean, I think that's because there's guys that be acting like they did a whole lot of something and it was a whole lot of nothing. And now I want my pussy muscles back. And guess what? I'm going to take them back because you didn't even make them contract. Hello. Now I feel like a rapper. What would your law be for sex? Do you have a sex law that you would?
There's always got to be head.
If you're DL, you got to tell.
That would be your sex law?
There's head.
You have to give head before penetration? Or
it doesn't have to be before, but like head has to happen on one point.
Head has to happen.
On one or the other?
Yes.
I like that.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. I think that's actually a really good law.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. You're kind of childish if there's no oral.
Are you though?
You're childish if you are having sex as a grown-ass adult. I'm going to say 19 and up. Because by 18, you may still be there. I don't think anyone who is mature is having any sex without having oral.
So my drug dealer is like, well, he's a new one, but he's like a super hood nigga. And to be honest with you, the type of drugs I like ain't super hood. So something about it is just kind of fun when he comes through. So we talking or whatever. He's like, yo, I found out about horrible decisions. I ain't even know I've been serving. Like, I ain't know who you was. Blah, blah, blah. We talking. He was like, you know, it's crazy. A lot of girls be trying to cut me off because I don't really kiss or eat pussy unless I'm super in love. And I literally was like, then what do you do?
Put his dick in.
You finger then and spit?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can understand the kissing and like titty, like, what?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to have
anyway,
sex
I'm never buying mushrooms from him again.
I mean, I used to have sex and not kiss. I get kissing being intimate. It's so crazy because I think, kissing is more intimate than oral.
Kissing or the head?
Yeah, no. Kissing is way more intimate than giving head.
I agree.
It is. Like I said, I agree with you. I think oral is a part of sex.
Oral should be a part of sex.
It should be. One or the other is giving head.
Yeah.
Someone has to give head. Even if we're not 69ing it out, someone has to give head.
Like, one of my homegirls just opened up her relationship and she was asking me about my rules and how they look.
The boundaries?
And what we're both allowed to do. And one of the things she said to me was, do you let him eat other pussy?
And because men will say they don't want you to suck other dick.
Right.
100%.
So she was like, do you let him eat other pussy? And I was like, well, it's not a rule that he can't. I was like, isn't head part of sex? Like, I was like, and my nigga's not busting down bitches every week. Like, this is not something like our sex life is not, it's not a frequent non-monogamy thing. He doesn't have many other partners, right? I was like, I didn't even think to police that. And she was like, that's insane to me because that's so intimate. I'm like, bro, my boyfriend is allowed to have sex with other women. We have sex with other women together. Now you're telling me that's so intimate?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck other
There was an
people.
argument with my ex. I didn't mind him having sex with other women, but you went to a bar with a bitch. Like
That's insane.
I thought it was intimate
Oh,
to
yeah, but
spend
that makes sense.
outside time out of the bedroom with a woman. Like for what? Why do you have to talk to her? Aren't you just supposed to be having sex?
Now,
So like to me, intimacy is giving someone your time.
on the other front, what's interesting is I agree. So whereas it didn't bother me before, at this juncture of my life, I don't really want that. Like I don't want a woman feeling like you are your time is owed, like a
Right.
birthday or something like that. Like I
Yeah.
had a bad day at work. Like, I
Nope.
think that's too deep. So basically, he was like, "Yo, I'm not like going out meeting bitches that are like birds. Like these girls are decent people. I can't just be like, let me pull up."
Yeah,
He's
but
like,
decent women like to just get fucked and left too.
so he was like,
Bro.
"What about our thing was if I ever meet a new person that I sleep with, can I at least go to a bar with them for the first time? I don't want to just go to a woman's home or they come to mine. Like I need something there." I was like, "Fine, the first time is it." And my homeboys were laughing about it because they were like, "What if he don't kill the first night?" I'm like, "That's his problem. That nigga got a motherfucking 90 out of 100 record. Fuck it. Like you better work that night." But to be fair, something that is very important to me, and again, in decisions, we're talking about non-monogamy. So I love and appreciate that anyone he could meet while out knows he has a girlfriend. I think that's something that is part of the ethical non-monogamy. You don't get the number and then say, "Oh, I have a girlfriend," right?
You say
So
it before the number.
generally speaking, if that's happening, you're probably knowing this is for sex. So I think that's where it's kind of worked out. I don't know. We haven't had this conversation in a while. He ain't messing new bitches in a minute. But when we did have the convo, that was something I pressed on in the beginning. Like, are you sure you're saying it? Are you sure? Like, please make sure. Because I never want to be in a position where you're a liar to someone else.
Yeah, I think that's my problem now. I know I am engaging in a lot of heavy conversation and potential relationship planning with the 3 guys that I'm talking to, and all of them are monogamous. And I'm like, just hoping through conversation I could change their mind. But
What about monogamish having sex together? Are they okay with that?
that's my problem. I like all 3 of them. So like I kind of want to date all.
Oh my God, you guys should meet up in my fantasy. Yo, you can't see
And
this
I've
if
never
you're
wanted
listening.
more than one
Mandy's wearing a
boyfriend.
jersey. Ooh, game night, Super Bowl.
No, well, none of
Invite
them
niggas up.
none of them live in the same
Ah,
city.
shit.
So I think, if it's, long distance relationship type shit, like we can find ways to enjoy each other long distance.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to another episode of Decisions. I have a surprise for you. Throwing a free event this Thursday, February 27th. And guess what? It's free and everybody can join because it's virtual. From 6 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, there is going to be a virtual screening of Risky. It's a dinner conversation that we hosted in Chicago. And you've probably heard me talk about how I've been doing them over the past few years in different cities. But we're going to have a screening of the event we did. And it's going to be followed by a live Q&A with me and my girl Koya. I've been hosting these dinners for a while with her, and I'm telling you, it is such an amazing experience to sit with Black women and addressing risky sexual behaviors and the stigmas that contribute to the disproportionate HIV rates amongst Black women. Listen, I know it's not that sexy to talk about stuff like this, but you will really enjoy this conversation. It's so educational, and it's girl time with me. Hello. So get your ticket for free at riskydinnerconvo.com and follow Risky on IG at Risky Dinner Convo. They'll be tagged on our page and in the description of this episode. See you this Thursday. Okay.
I don't know.
I saw this clip, and while it's a lot to think about, I just found the opinion to be so interesting. And I
Okay.
thought it'd be good to share on Horrible because we're both kind of gay.
Yes.
So what's your take?
My take is that a lot of queer people lead hetero lives
A lot of queer people lead hetero
by
lives.
not unpacking their homophobia.
Secret homos, if you will.
Exactly.
Can I say secret homos?
Sure. You can pass.
Or no, quiet queers.
I like quiet queers.
Me too.
These quiet queers living straight lives,
Exactly.
wearing khaki pants and tucked in blue t-shirts saying, I'm gay, but you're not.
Well, also because they refuse to destigmatize, decolonize their brain, It's like people can be queer in identity, but still remain culturally straight.
What is culturally straight?
Refusing to dig any deeper because that like ownership of the label queer, it's assumed that it like absolves you from kind of just doing any further work. And there's this constant process of re-education that's necessary to kind of due diligence. Like
Once you realize you are queer,
well, I'm looking at gentrifier bisexuals specifically.
gentrifier bisexuals. What are those?
Gentrifiers who are bisexuals. Not digging deeper into their internalized homophobia.
Gentrifier bisexuals are homophobic.
Yes.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, why do gay people always come for the bis? That's number one.
They do.
Give it a break, bitch.
They don't allow us to be a part of the community like that.
Now, where I will give this person some credit, I will say, watching her talk, I don't know if she's non-binary. I feel like the way that she's using language, it's giving non-binary.
Yeah.
However, where I will give them credit is something specifically about culturally straight. At first, I didn't understand it, and I was like, oh, you could come out of the closet and still be a fucking bigot. You could be a racist. You could be pro-Israel. You know what I mean? Like, there could be a lot of things about you. Just because you're queer or gay don't necessarily mean you're for the people.
Well, when I heard this, I immediately, especially now being in the South and just seeing too that all my friends go to church on Sunday and
That's beautiful.
like being more heavily religious, being in the Bible Belt, that this is a privileged way of thinking because she's probably a New Yorker. I think the way that people can exist or be open as non-binary or how they dress or how they kind of can live as their individualistic selves, New York allows that. I think the South and other parts of the country, sexuality is still something that is kept behind closed doors. And so I don't think that just because you're a man who sucks dick or a woman who eats pussy, that you have to be this openly outward gay existing being for society.
I agree with that too.
And I think that that's why she was saying culturally straight. I don't think people need to be like us that wear their labels on their shirt. I think you can go to work and everyone doesn't need to know you're gay just because you're gay.
So
I think that that's my
There's
problem.
a lot of privilege sometimes in people that live out loud where they push you a little bit, right? I had to check myself recently in a conversation about just radical blackness, like me telling someone, it's going to be XYZ like this, fuck white shit, da 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 da. And being light-skinned and being loud is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? I'm operating in a world where I can talk like that. I'm a woman, I'm young, whatever. Not every black person has this experience, right? And so, yes, it's a privilege to be able to be loud in that. I use that as an example because this person is out and well received by whoever or has her community, and not everybody's like that. Right. So I think sometimes demonizing someone for not being gay enough sucks. But the only thing I did kind of ride with is like watching gays for Trump become a thing. When I made that joke on the Breakfast Club about, I didn't even connect the dots, but it was like, oh yeah, Trump fucks with the gays, can't be trans. Because we're watching the gays celebrate Trump, love him down. And then Megyn Kelly and all these other people get up there and put all this fear in your heart about trans people. And it's like, what the fuck then? So it's just the gays, not the G's, not the Q's, not the T's. No, everybody else is confusing me, not the non-binaries. I don't like that. But this is all an umbrella for us in being fluid in your sexuality. For most trans people, I understand it's gender, not sexuality, but for most trans people, it is. And so it is a disappointment to then think that like you could be gay and also not necessarily be for any other civil rights.
I mean, I will say, bringing it back to relationships, if I think of culturally straight within the LGBTQ community as well, there's oftentimes who's the man, who's the woman, who's the feminine, who's the masculine. And so if we talk about maybe how homosexual relationships adapt or try to incorporate very heterosexual means of how to operate in relationships, I do agree that that does take unlearning. And it does take a little bit of homophobia. The idea that we have to have these heterosexual ideas even within a homosexual relationship, I do agree to a bit. But like I said, I think that there's a privilege in someone speaking that way depending on your community, where you're at. And I think if you're someone in New York, you don't understand your privilege as a queer individual and how you're able to just exist here, having places like the Village and having, whole communities where there's rainbow flags
Baby, they
flying.
will take you in.
It's not the same if you go to some of these sundown towns or, like I said, even in the South or going to Florida where you can't even say gay.
Did you watch the Jerry Springer doc on Netflix yet? It's not that good.
Unfortunately, as background noise, but yes, it was on.
So it's not that good, but there was something very interesting. They talked about where people were from.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were going to expose Jerry Springer shit for being fake, right? And they're like, yo, one girl got fired for something being fake, right? And she goes, I should have known it wasn't real because he was from Boston. And none of this shit is happening in Boston. And they circled on a map the middle of America where 80% of the Jerry Springer guests were from.
Middle America.
Right? And so there's something about when you're not in and even though Florida is a crazy fucking town, but these are still larger cities where you get to be interacting with other people. So I think we do forget that a lot. And you hate her, but those people we need to have grace for in accepting themselves, their sexuality. And
oh no, I just think a lot of them are more ignorant than most, but it's because they haven't been exposed to more. I think they just live in their ignorance.
So I don't know if I've talked about this on Horrible, but I feel like I have. Maybe it's been a while, but I was dating a man whose brother was gay and he blamed me for exposing that. I ever tell you about that?
Yeah, I think you've shared that here.
So basically the gist of it was he had a brother come from a South American country. It was Venezuela. And when he got here, he goes, oh, Gila, baby, we need to put him on the dating apps. I'm like, yeah. I met his brother for 5 minutes and I'm like, I know a dating app you like. And I introduced his brother to Grindr.
All right.
His brother ended up getting engaged to a wonderful man. They are still married to this day, by the way. And I want to say this was when I was 22, this happened. I say this to say, I remember when his brother came out and said, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, bitch, you made him gay.
But this was your same partner that left you for Jesus, right?
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. So the homophobia within the church.
Oh, no. Not him. I wanted to just say his brother was in his 20s at the time. Never had heard of Grindr, is leaving Venezuela. And it's like, you don't really, you need somebody. Like, me being that doc connector to that world, how else was he going to get that? He's living with his brother. He doesn't have friends. He's not going out. Maybe you're closeted. Maybe, and I don't know if he was closeted or not. I just knew.
Well, no, he probably had internal homophobia. Like my friends growing up, which is why I don't like my Latina friends saying the N-word. My best friends growing up, one was Colombian, one was Mexican. And never forget, both of their parents blamed me as to why their daughters liked black men. Not that we went to majority black schools. No, it's because they were friends with me. And so knowing that they were, yeah. And so the fact that your parents are blaming me as to why you like black men is crazy. But I knew that was their internalized racism towards black people. Your partner, maybe not ever expressing it, was internally homophobic. And I think—
Oh, no. He was.
No, yeah.
Oh,
and so
I was trying to highlight the thing about like how the Midwest doesn't really have community. I was so
it's because
proud
they're
to
ignorant.
be that guy. Like, your brother just came to a new country where we can be open.
Oh, the same. My cousin left Jamaica because he was gay.
Like,
and there was not safety for him in Jamaica.
Just Eden, think about, or even Dave, Eden, think about the way you go on a date and you kiss someone in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Or on the street. Gay men fucking look over their shoulders.
But are you ready? It's the same thing we're dealing with now, which is why parents and everyone, they're blaming television. They're blaming drag queens. They're blaming everything but the scientific fact that as people, psychologically, environmentally, we have these attractions to people, not because gayness was thrown into our face, but because of who we naturally are.
You just said the drag queens. And so this weekend, I just made dinner for my man's family. I've never made dinner for parents before. And he was like, make them gumbo. And I'm like, that must be the blackest shit I make. That's why he said that.
Yeah, bitch, don't nobody want avocado toast?
Girl, I've been cooking up a Dover soul, bitch. I've been getting it. But basically, we're sitting down at the table, and his dad loves politics, and thank God, same vibe on politics, right? We're talking about how Trump is terrible and whatever, and how the campaign was run for fear. And I started to say something, and I know my man was looking at me like, bitch, you better shut your liberated ass up. I said, you know what's crazier about Trump is the trans ads. I was like, how many times, because they watch TV, they're watching the news. Did you see like the guy with the football jersey and the dress? Like, it's so crazy to me that 1% of the population made a lot of people, they say trans people are 1.3 right now. And we're blessed to know. But you know what I mean?
The
That
ones
means we're
that
in the
even
right tribe.
identify as which, yeah.
I was like, how crazy is it that all these people are voting red just because they're scared of this? Meanwhile, they aren't scared of the guns in their kids' schools. But the advertisement's saying, be very scared of a man going in your kid's bathroom. Be scared of the fucking AKs.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to go in. I know you're looking at me like, oh my God, bitch, shut up.
It's funny. That's why, really, it's funny because I just had the same conversation with Actor Vay's dad. So he went to Europe and was with his family for the holidays and was really excited for me to meet his parents via FaceTime. And we literally got into the discussion about freedom of speech. And he was telling me about all these little black, either Sudanese or something about we correlated what's happening overseas with all these little black girls that started dying, but the government not wanting to look into it because of racism. And I literally compared it to what happened with the new bill in California, where there was evidence that they weren't going to look for black girls that were missing.
Okay. Sorry.
And so having this real liberal conversation about also the way in which politics are in Europe compared to what they are here, and that we aligned. He was like, I don't know if you have time for this. And I was like, oh no, of course. And we had a whole conversation about politics.
Honestly, that's a way I realized and it's funny because his dad was saying you know how you make a man's parents fall in love with you? You ask them if they need help in the kitchen. You care. You do these things that millennials, people just don't care about. And I was like, oh no, it's really this politics.
Oh no, then
this politics
then he switches the phone to his mom and is like, oh my God, you have her dream apartment. Give her a tour. And so I'm touring my new loft and showing it to her. And she's telling me her dream was to live in New York and this thing. And it's like, not you having me bond with your parents right now. Whoa. We don't know what this relationship is.
I think more people should do FaceTime meetups with parents.
Yeah, it was great.
Because it was
great.
Too much pressure.
No.
It's fun.
I done been FaceTiming him for hours, and his sister is a part of the conversation.
Aww.
So I done met the sister, the mom, the dad.
I think that's very special.
Woo. And we haven't even had sex yet.
Well,
crazy.
Speaking of sex, what comes after
romance
normally for you?
No,
I needed before.
We're romantically involved at the moment.
So no, you absolutely are. So we're gonna talk a little bit before we get out of here about the history of romance.
And we gonna stop treating this segment like home mail. We gotta get here sooner, bitch. We supposed to be educating these hoes.
We was cooking, bitch. Okay. So
yeah, gumbo.
Step 1. Apes evolved the ability to become
here we go.
Emotionally attached to one another.
We're doing evolution.
We said the history, ho.
Oh Lord, I don't believe in evolution.
The emotional attachment would eventually be known as love. It literally started from apes growing the ability to love. And through evolution, it kind of just turned into humans evolving. So the ability to become attached to someone is then loving each other because it helps you survive.
I'm curious how they did the science on this, only because what we see throughout the entire animal kingdom is the bonded connection from ducks to lions to all the things with their offspring, right? So I'm curious to know how they identified the romantic love.
The attachment is how they're describing it, right? So they're saying...
But they normally only notice that attachment, right? When there's offspring.
So no. They're saying being around each other, spending time.
Okay.
That then becomes a bond. So the third step, as humans, we instinctively develop loyalty and affection for those who show us most loyalty and affection. And that's all love really is. It is an irrational degree of loyalty and affection to another person.
You agree with that?
To the point that we'd let ourselves harm or even die for that person. Seems insane, but it's symbiotic with what happens with humans, conversations with humans that say, I would do anything for you.
Well, that's just a figure of speech.
Yeah, but I think I wouldn't die, but yeah, I would definitely do shit.
You would take a charge for someone you love? Like when I hear of people, look at Edda's face.
No, but
oh my God.
It's also, for example, let's make it small.
Okay, what's small? Would you put a car in someone's name? Would you put...
Yeah, that's different.
You would put your name on something that you know could cause you debt or go into something bad because you love someone?
Marriage. Like, that's literally sharing things. Like, if I got to that point of love, that's marriage to me. I've put...
No, before marriage.
Bitch, let me tell you
could love someone before marriage.
I have 2 apartments, baby, and 5 at the same time. two of my own, my mama, and two friends.
A man that you are dating. We're not talking, because you can love someone before marriage. Marriage is a whole nother bond.
That's my point.
But I'm
these
saying,
friends that I put
would
my
you-
name in,
You would co-sign something for a partner? I'm not
a
talking about.
serious partner, yeah.
Okay.
And I only say that because I've done it for a friend. God,
It's so
I'm
crazy.
so fortunate that me and this nigga in the 800.
It's so crazy because what I would do for friends is normally, I mean, and I've talked about my hierarchy of how I show up for people. It's friends, family, then men. And the way I show up for friends is still quite different than what I right now think logically I could do and show up for a partner.
I mean,
But it's only because
platonic love comes in. And so here's literally the next
platonic
one.
love is
The
where I'm
ancient
at.
Greek philosopher Plato argued that the highest form of love is actually non-sexual.
Yep.
It is a non-romantic or an attachment form to another person known as brotherly love, and reasoned that since passion and romance often make us do things we regret, the passionless love between two family members or close friends is a height of virtuous human experience. In fact, Plato, like most people in the ancient world, looked at romantic love with skepticism, if not horror, because with most things, non-sexual love, platonic love, never meant that you took risk. And for most of human history, romantic love was looked at as a sickness.
Bitch, I am Plato.
Yeah, you are.
I'm about to read. That nigga got books and stuff.
Oh, well, look at the word decision. They said poor decision-making from romantic love. The ancients were so skeptical of romantic love's utility. What is it useful for? So much so that many cultures treated it as an unfortunate disease that we'd have to get over in our lives. In fact, classic stories like Romeo
and Juliet
weren't celebrations of love. They were warnings against negative consequences of love. For most of human history, people didn't marry because of their feelings one of each other. And
it didn't stop with the Disney Channel. This bitch gave up her voice for a nigga.
Oh my
God. What else happened? What else happened in the Disney movie?
Yeah, the voice was crazy.
Bro, giving up your whole singer voice for a man?
So for most of human history, for the majority, their sustenance and survival hung on by a thread. People didn't have very much of a large life expectancy. Everything was done from survival. Marriages arranged by families because
for money,
money, wheat, barley, help during a flood, purely economic arrangements designed to promote survival and prosperity between the families. And so what's interesting about today's age, people are lasting longer in age because of love.
No, that's not true. Maybe love with friendships. Again, brotherly love.
And community. I always talk about the type in 100 on Netflix, the Centurion documentary, people living to 100.
Oh yeah, there's the women say that they've gotten old
no matter where.
They weren't in relationships.
No. They last long because of community.
Oh, community. Yes.
Some of them have husbands or they died or whatever.
I saw it.
But like the community was the consistency and the walking. Everybody else, some people gardened, a lot of people gardened. But the thing about community, I was like, damn. And what's sad is, when people fall in love, what do they tend to do? Give up on their community.
It's so crazy too, because that conversation is constantly had to when people question why I don't want children. And it's funny because one of the number one things if it's not legacy, it's, well, who's going to take care of you when you're old? And I'm like, I said it's so crazy because when you do look at a lot of people, and I'm not talking about you because clearly you're looking after your older parents, but there's a lot of people that end up in nursing homes whose kids don't even come and see them. Or they're in nursing homes because their kids were too busy to look after them. And what's also crazy is there is a stat that men in nursing homes are more lonely than women because they don't have the friendships that women curate over their lifetimes. Women have a lot more friends. And I know we talk about the girls that don't know how to have homegirls. There's way more community amongst women. And I think we've been able to see that even with the Whore Hive than men have in terms of how they create bonds and friendships platonically.
It's so crazy thinking about nursing homes. I remember, and literally, when someone does end up there, it's mainly if you have family to rely on because the family can't help.
Yeah.
So I was seeing my grandma once, and my mom was probably going 3 times a week and making meals and stuff because, nursing home food sucks. And I was flying down to Orlando just to, keep in touch. There was a woman I saw on the other side. There was an Asian lady next to her. And I was like, oh my God, you must be her daughter. I've never met you. And so she's smiling. This is true story. Doesn't reply to me. I'm leaving. She's like, I'm not her family, but we're part of an outreach thing for people that don't get visitors.
Oh, wow.
And she was also Chinese, not just Asian. The lady was Chinese and she was Chinese. She's like, yeah, I'll just speak in Mandarin and we'll talk and sorry, the woman didn't talk, but she was like, it's just memory.
Conversation can keep people alive longer.
You can pay these people.
Literally.
And so she said she gets paid to do this.
Oh,
She's like, sometimes I'll just come if people can't get to their family, if they don't live in the same country, city. She's like, there's some people I visit 4 times a week, but she said this was pro bono. She does it as volunteer work. And so the nursing home will say, hey, these people need someone to connect with, et cetera.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's dope.
But also fucked up.
That's dope. I love that. I'm not gonna lie. You about to have me go Google Play-Doh. Like, I feel like this was a documentary. Like, where I'd be like, ooh, let me go look more into this.
Oh, my God.
Because me and Play-Doh on the same type of time.
Girl, all I want to do is get some
Brotherly
Play-Doh.
love is first.
Well,
okay?
If you want more horror shit, since we're at the end and now we can curse, check us out on patreon.com/horrible decisions because we went nowhere. It's $5 a month and you literally get bonus episodes. Plus, if you upgrade to the next tier, you get town halls and our decisions episodes too in video. But you can't get anywhere else.
Decisions. Oh, and video? Yeah. We do a lot over there. And now we have a new tier where you can become a producer. So you'll be able to either let us know some of the sex history you want to hear on here. You could shoot us hypotheticals, or you could send us videos that you want us to react to. But we have now a producer tier for you guys to be a part of the show. And we are going to literally shout you out. So if you want to have a nickname or not, we'll shout you out and give you producer credit. But yeah, that's at patreon.com/horrible decisions. By the way, our book is on pre-sale. So you can pre-order our book, No Holes Barred, on Amazon, on Barnes & Nobles, wherever you get your book.
Holes, Mandii.
No Holes Barred. It's a dual manifesto of sexual exploration and power. And Weezy and I are giving you more stories than you've heard on this podcast. We're digging deep and we are hopefully giving you some insight on how to get in your journey. No, we get real deep in all the holes.
It'll make you comment and cry.
Yeah, so make sure you pre-order our book that comes out June 24th. And again, follow us wherever. Make sure you rate, subscribe, all the things. And guys, we will see you on Wednesday or next week. But we're around. Y'all got us 3 times a week now, okay?
Like a threesome.
Oh my goodness.
It's the only threesome we'll ever have.
Tree ways, the 3 holes you can insert.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. If you are a patron member, that's right, go on over to patreon.com/horrible decisions. That's where you can get all of the X-rated, raunchy discussions about sex. It's bonus, bitch, but it's also another episode of Horrible Decisions.
You feel at home now that you can say that instead of decisions.
Decisions. I mean, I'm getting used to both of them. I like both episodes. This is crazy because we just had to have a little powwow because I'm like, ooh, have some tea, but don't want to give too much of it away. But I will give it all away, but just deeper into the episode.
Just so y'all know, if you're listening to a preview, we probably post the first, I feel like 7 to 10 minutes of the Patreon episode, and then you can subscribe.
This episode gonna be 7.
And Mandii has so much tea. I said, bitch, you want to say that at minute 11?
I literally have it in the outline about what's happening with my dating life. But I guess I'll start off just with a little ad promo, just because I want to see you bitches this year, and y'all may actually get to see one of these boos that I'm going to talk about.
Oh my God, is it your church sex?
No.
Oh.
No. Well, that too. But Labor Day weekend, if you guys are interested, you have heard us talk about hedonism before. I am hosting at Hedonism with Choco Bliss, Thursday, October 28th through Tuesday, September 2nd. Labor Day weekend. I will make sure that you guys have the link in the description to get your tickets. It is an adults only resort, clothing optional. If you talk to Weezy will tell you on one side it's not optional. You have to get the fuck naked.
Wait, Mandii, you said October 28th. That's Labor Day?
No, August 28th to September 2nd. Girl, October 28th is Halloween.
I know.
When you guys go, make sure you select Mandii B in the referral section. And again, you can stay anywhere between 5 and 7 nights. It's going to be fun, free alcohol. You can watch people have sex. It's one of those crazy ass resorts. And
Have you been back since the time we went?
I
wonder if it looks different. I wonder.
Did I? I'm not sure. I don't think I have.
You only went to hedonism once then?
No, I've been to hedonism twice. I went with Taylor and Crystal. I went before we went.
You went before we went?
Yeah, I went before we went. And then I guess we did the one in Mexico. But that one was so different. They weren't really having sex in public.
No, they have sex at hedonism, y'all.
Yeah, no. That's why the one in Mexico was like, this one isn't as cool.
I know you probably don't want to work while you're there, but I would love...
Oh, no, I am working. So I'm doing classes.
Oh, fine.
Like I'm doing
I was gonna say I want you to record with...
No, I'm doing like some classes.
What you teaching?
I don't know yet.
You little dick sucker whore.
I'm not going to teach. I would never teach a class on how to suck dick because it's different for everyone. Clearly not going to teach them how to ride, not peck. I don't know. Maybe just how to feel sexy in the bedroom. I don't know. Something simple.
If I had to go to a class of yours, I would want you to show me how to relax the anal muscle for men. How to have the talk.
I can't tell people how to relax their anal muscle when they're men. That's
women. How to make sure you gave me that one tip about going down, up, something.
Oh yeah, no, that's to hit the G spot. That's for where it goes. I don't know. I want it to be fun. And then I'm probably gonna host a little pool party, and make them do games and suck toes and eat coochie at the pool. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna make it wild. I'm gonna make it. It also I think depends who I end up going with. But also if you're in Atlanta, and you want to go to a sex club. Susia Play is throwing a party February 22nd in Atlanta, and it's so cool because we're doing it in a church. If you could think of any which way to be inappropriate, it's every way I'm living my life in 2025, apparently. No, in the Bible Belt. It's fucking crazy. And so
the rebrand is Mandi's hosting hedonism next year.
Hedonism
and a church sex
club
party.
In a church. And I am starting 2025 being very, very open with, I guess I can call them my partners. They're not my partners. I feel like I feel like I'm in relationships right now, honestly. And it's crazy.
You have 3 boyfriends.
So honestly, I'm really only gonna name 2. So the third one, Scientist Bay, has not left the friend zone yet. We've rekindled what we were talking pre-pandemic, but it hasn't festered to ooh, not yet. But these other 2 niggas.
You fucked him before.
No, we didn't fuck.
You never fucked him.
We've never fucked. So of the 3 guys I'm talking to, I've only fucked the one that I met most recently. No. So the reason why me and Scientist Bay didn't fuck is because we got really, 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 really drunk. And it just didn't happen.
Didn't one of you fly to see each other?